Hello, welcome to workout 8 in the Lift Stronger Now series. This is a 30-minute workout, and today we are going to be focusing on our chest, shoulders, and triceps. Now, before we get started, make sure that you have a way to track what you're lifting, how many reps you're getting, what weight you're using, so that you can progress every time that you do this workout. There is nothing more important than making sure that we know how much we've lifted so that we can hold ourselves accountable to actually lifting stronger. That's a huge part of this program. If you don't have a tracker, you can go down to the description of this video and grab them, and they will have a tracker for all 10 of the workouts. So there's 10 total workouts in this series. Right now we're on workout 8. If you're catching these as they come out, we are releasing them slowly. But if they're already all out, you can check the playlist and make sure that you are able to do all the workouts with us. So today we are doing a mixed workout, meaning it's not necessarily pre-exhaust where you do the small muscles first. It's not necessarily traditional where you do the big muscles first. It's kind of all mixed up, but it is focusing on the arms. And I will tell you this, I kind of unintentionally did this slightly pre-exhaust. So we are going to start with lighter weights. You do need everything from a lighter weight to a heavier weight, remembering that this is upper body, and your mat, because we will be using that later on. All right, friends, I'm Gretchen, and let's get started. We're going to start with an inchworm just to get some mobility training in our body to warm up. So make sure that you have a place to go. You might want a mat, but you don't have to have one. So reaching the arms overhead, bend the knees slightly and hinge down, waking up the back of the body. At the bottom, we're going to walk our arms all the way out until we're in a nice flat plank. Now, just like an inchworm would, let's bring our feet up to our hands, bending when we need to. Oh, I'm not all the way awake today. Inhale, reverse that swan dive all the way up. We're going to reverse inchworm now. Bring it back down. Bring the legs out. This time, crawling the arms in and hinging up. Same thing this time, let's roll down, hands by our side, tucking the chin, zipping the belly, rolling all the way down, walking the hands out, walking the feet in. Try to take as many little bitty steps as you can. Roll up, roll down, walk the feet out. Last time, walk those hands in and roll all the way up. And let's get started with our first chunk of 3 exercises. A front raise, an Arnold press, and a bottom half overhead press. I'm using my lighter weights. So for our front raise, we come straight here in front of our body. For Arnold press, we bring these up to our kind of 90 degree at the shoulder. We press up, down, together, and open. And then we end with just bottom half overhead press. Awesome, friends. Those are our 3 exercises. Pick the weight that you think you're going to need. You've got 3 sets of 2 minutes each. For each exercise, we're looking to get 8 to 12 reps. For some reason in workout 7, I kept saying 8 to 10. Maybe that was just workout 7. That was a little harder on the lower body, but we go 8 to 12. If you get 12 easily, get a heavier weight. If 8 is the challenge, then stick with where you're at. All right, friends, we go in 5 seconds. And begin. We've got our front raise. Anywhere from 8 to 12. Lifting to the shoulder height from the side of the body. Trying not to go back behind the body so that we're not using momentum. I'll move ahead a little bit. Next is Arnold press. It's a press forward like it's going on a high shelf a little bit. Down, squeeze, and open. 2, squeeze, and open. Good. Get that little high shelf push, making sure we're getting into the front of the shoulders a little bit, something that we can actually use in our everyday life. If you need to stagger your stance as we press and squeeze. And then we finish with just bottom half overhead press. So think chin to just above the head, chin to just above the head. And you can really pump these out kind of quick, but it's getting heavy in the shoulders Beautiful. All the way. See if you can get all the way to 12. Rotate down, come down. When you've done 8 to 12 of each one, set the weights down, shake it out. You've got plenty of time here, so if you're still going, keep going. You're going to record on your paper what weight you use and how many reps you did. So for me, my weight is 5 pounds. I kept it consistent. And let's say you're at 5 pounds and you're easily getting to 12. Easy. Bump it up. Go to 8 pounds. And know that if you go to 8 pounds and you just get to 8, that's okay. You're going to see yourself progressively get stronger. And you might go back and forth. You maybe start with an 8 pound, and then you realize by our third time through, you've got to go down to 5. Just make a note. You need to keep track of this. We go for our second set in 5 seconds. Grab your weights if you don't have them, and we start with 8 to 12 of the front raise. Lift and lower. That's it. Perfect. 8 to 12. Standing tall, lifting the chest, letting the head lift and look forward, staying strong. Palms are facing each other. Beautiful. When you finish, you go directly into Arnold press. Find that 90-degree. We push up, down, tap the back of the weights together, and open. So when you come down to tap the back of the weights, you're actually looking at your palms. We're pressing, and we're looking at our palms. Perfect. Press up and down. That's it. You got it. Keep it going. Press. Again, you're doing anywhere from 8 to 12 of these. This is a pretty small muscle group, so you will probably get tired quickly, and that is okay. When we're done with 8 to 12, we press from chin to just over the head, bottom half only overhead press, pushing straight up. Don't worry about that high shelf here. Just down and up. Really moving through this. Staying strong. After 8 to 12, you can take a little break. Beautiful. We have just over 30 seconds left. Shaking it out, recording if anything changed. If not, skip the recording, take a drink of water, shake it out, and know that you have a little bit of time until we start again. We are going through our last set, so stay strong. All right, see if you can keep up the 8 to 12. See if you can repeat what you did last time. It might get hard. See if you can push through. All right, this is about lifting stronger, being the best we can be. We go in 10 seconds, finding those weights, standing tall, shoulders back and down, and start with that front raise. Good. We lift, we stay strong, we focus. This is our last round through. You know what to do. You have mastered the form. All you need to do now is stick with it. Stay with this all the way through. Perfect. Lifting and lowering. Moving from front raise straight to Arnold press. We push, and then we rotate in. I really like this exercise. I like the mobility that it gives me. And it's a little change up, you know, we kind of do the same things for the shoulders sometimes over and over. So this is a way to make sure that we're changing this up. Another thing to think about, because I caught myself doing it, are your elbows staying high? Try not to come down here and touch in front of the chest. We want to make sure that you're right here, just like above your eyes a little bit, right at that 90 degrees. And then you can do your bottom half overhead press, dropping those arms down maybe to the shoulders, and push, just worrying about the bottom half. Nicely done. When you're finished, release. Shake it out. Grab water. You still have a couple minutes left in this series. So we haven't hit our 2-minute mark yet. So you have about 30 seconds, get through this set. And then we're going to move on to our next set of 3 exercises. I like using the time to hold myself accountable, because if I were to go into the gym with this list of exercises, I would probably still be doing this exercise list in an hour. I would take my time, I'd chat, I'd get on my phone. But throwing that time limit in there helps you stay accountable. It also allows you to make the most of maybe these lighter weights that you have at home. And that is time, my friends. We are getting ready. This is your 1 minute kind of halfway mark. Not really, a little less than halfway. But between our two sets. And I want you to get something to lay on if you're going to be on the floor. Well, you're going to be on the floor. But if you need something to lay on. And then you're also going to get the appropriate weights to do a 2-weight skull crusher, a chest press, which is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be like a squeeze press. What did I call it on here? Crush press. That's what I called it. And then you're also going to need one single heavier weight. So let me just demo where we're going, and then I'll help you understand what you're going to need. So your single heavier weight, have it set up, ready to go. Mine rolls around, so I'm going to put it like that. And I'm going to use 10s because we're actually not doing the exact order from the paper. We're doing them a slightly different way. We're doing the skull crushers first. So a double arm skull crusher is just a weight in both hands, working on the triceps, going down to the temples, back up. When we get to crush press, we actually push these weights together, pushing and go down and up. So you're pressing the weights together. You're not just touching them, you're pressing them together. Down and up, and then we go to one arm. So you want to make sure you use 2 arms to get it there. One arm chest press. Okay, so because of that one arm chest press, we have 4 rounds at 2 minutes each. Okay, we go in 15 seconds. You should be about ready. We're starting with our skull crusher, then our chest press. Remember, it's slightly different than it's written as far as the order on that page. All right, weights up and begin. 8 to 12 skull crushers. Remember, I'm going to be a little bit ahead of you, so it's okay. I'm moving a little bit fast through this because I want to make sure that you see this in real time. And then put the weights together. These are all double arm. And then I want us all to start with our right arm today. Later on, if you want to change it up, start with your left arm, that's fine. But you're going to start with one arm. And if this is your first time through workout 8, then I want you to start with your right arm. You're going to use 2 arms on the weight to get it in place so we don't do anything weird to our shoulder. And then we do a single arm chest press. Drop and push. And you can face that palm center. You can face the palm center. So we're getting into both the chest and the triceps. Nice. Down and up. And it's nice that we're on the ground here because it stops our elbow and doesn't put our shoulder into an uncomfortable position. Even if it doesn't feel uncomfortable, it's not comfortable for our shoulders mobility, believe it or not. All right, when you put this weight down, little tip, put it down toward the left side so that it's there when you're ready. Awesome job. When you're through, you might want to sit up and make some notes on your workout page, on your workout tracker. What did you do? How many? What weights did you use? Maybe you need to change your weights. All right, you've got 30 seconds until we go again. And then this time, on that single arm chest press, we're going to be on that left arm. So, getting ready, getting set up. If you need some alternate weights, now's your time to grab them. 10 seconds. Go ahead and bring those weights up and overhead. Reaching, starting with the skull crushers. Dropping these arms down, getting to 90 degrees of the elbow at least, and pushing back up. Weights are coming in by our temples, so it's nice and close together. Squeeze and press. Good. Working on just getting through that form now, making sure we're doing this the right way. Everything all the way in from 8 to 12, working on the backs of the arms. It's okay if we get tired. Sometimes we stay with the same weight, but maybe we get 12 the first round, 11, then maybe 9, then maybe 8 at the end. For our next exercise, we squeeze, we push the weights together as we bring them to the center of our chest and push up. Squeeze those weights together, crushing them together. That's where this came from, crush press. It's not just simple touching the weights, you're actually pushing them together so you can feel that engagement all the way across your chest. Push. Again, get yourself to the number you want to get to. 8 to 12, press them down. Use both hands to get this weight up. Set up, then you've got the left arm. Perfect. I like to stabilize kind of nice and wide here. Feels nice. Pressing, and we're going to make sure that this is nice and close to the body still, but the palms facing in. This way we're getting into the chest. We're also still getting into the triceps a little bit here. Pushing down and up. You got it. Press, getting all the way to the number you want to get to. When you're done, remember what we do. Little trick, set it down on the right side this time so that it's ready to go. Very nice. We're starting all the way over at the beginning. You've got 5 seconds picking these weights up, going into skull crushers. Let's go. And you might find if you're like me, maybe you went through a little slow that time, so maybe you want to speed it up this time around. I'm losing a weight over here. There we go. Perfect. Pressing. Getting through as many skull crushers as we can, 8 to 12. When you've finished, go into that crush press. Push, push. So now we're really kind of moving through a little quicker. Now that we have the form down, we know what we're doing, we can get into this. Awesome. You've got the one arm press going back to that original arm. If you came with me, this is your first time through, it's your right arm, using both arms to get it there, and then going. Again, later, if this is like your third or fourth time, doing this, then you might choose to start with the left arm, but you want to go back to that arm. You can even do like right, left if you want. I just like to alternate because it gives us some time here. Bam. You got it. Awesome. Friends, we have one last set remaining. So we have our final 3 here. This is the last time we're going to see ourselves having to count too hard. 8 to 12. Count too hard. Maybe it's not hard. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. You've got about 30 seconds left. Decide, are you able to keep the same weight this time? Do you need to change it for those double arm weights? Oh, I put my weight down on the wrong side. I'm going to move it to the left side so I can easily grab it. We go in 15 seconds. Get those weights ready. If you want to go ahead and bring them up, you can. I'm just trying to keep us accountable for time. Bringing them up for skull crushers. Last time through, you ready? Let's hit it. Drop and press. That's it. Finding that squeeze right behind the arm. Finding that energy deep down inside. Kind of digging into yourself a little bit here. Something about lifting stronger. We're all capable, but sometimes we convince ourselves that we're not. Or we decide, oh, I know she said if I can do 12 easy to go up a weight, but I just don't really know if I can. Yes, you can. Even if it turns into you having to go and purchase heavier weights if you're doing this at home. The beauty of this, though, is that this is designed to be able to do at the gym, friends. You can follow along with me, or after a while, you know what you're doing. You know which exercise you're doing together. You know how much time you have. So you want to use this to learn how to be comfortable in lifting stronger, lifting heavy. Friends, this is what keeps us young. This is what regulates our blood glucose. This is what keeps our bones strong, our muscles strong. There is so much more to lifting heavy than just lifting heavy. So let's go into that very last one arm press when you're ready and power through. I'm using 10s and 15s, and I'm telling you, it feels pretty good right now. Feels pretty good. I could probably go a tiny bit heavier, I think. I could maybe use both the 15s the whole way through. This would be pretty exhausting when I got to the chest press, but I could probably do it. All right, guys, let's keep it up. Let's keep going. You have 20 seconds left to make it all the way through this. Moving all the way through our last set together, and then we're going to finish with our final chunk of exercises to finish. In 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Breathe. You made it through the majority of the workout. We have our 3 finishers left. We have diamond cutters, then we have a version of crawling plank and forearm plank rotations. I'm totally cheating, can you tell? So while you take a little break, I am going to show you what all that nonsense actually means. So diamond cutters. This is a style of push-up where you actually make a diamond out of your hands and you drop down and up, trying to bring your chest to the center of the diamond. This is going to isolate the backs of our arms and get into that a little bit more. So let me demonstrate what we're going to do. We take our diamond, put it on the ground. I do these on my knees. You're more than welcome. You can even bring the feet up if you like. You're more than welcome to do this on your toes. But I'm going to drop down and up, down and up. If that gets tiring, bring the knees in and drop down and up. You just want to avoid bringing your head to the diamond. You really want to work on getting a majority of your weight over that diamond. We're going to do that for 1 minute. Your job is just to count all the way through. I guess I said we were done counting. We're done consistently going around and figuring everything out. All you have to do is count. How about that? The next one is up and down crawling plank. I'll demonstrate that one, and then forearm plank rotations. I'll demonstrate that one as we get to that point, but we're going to take a little bit of a rest in between. So get ready. About 20 seconds. We're going to start out with 1 minute of diamond cutters. You have these 3 finishers, and then we're done. We do get little breaks in between because these are all very much arm focused, and we'll need a little bit. 5 seconds, make your diamond. 4, 3, 2, 1 minute. Let's go. Drop and press. Drop, press. It doesn't have to be all the way down to the ground. Zip the belly. Stay strong. Avoid sagging into it, okay? Drop down. In fact, I'd rather see you leave your bottom up a little bit, going down and up into this, than letting your bottom drop through as you go into diamond cutters. Here we go. Still moving. These are a challenge. What do we have time-wise? Over halfway there. You can do it. Drop and push. That's it. 20 seconds. I'm bringing my knees in. Here's your option. You got to keep going. Count how many you did, resting at the top if you need to rest. That's it. 3, 2, and 1. Write down your total number. Quick watch, and then we'll switch. Crawling push-ups. I'm angling so you can see what's happening with my hands here. We are in a plank, crawling plank rather. We are going to drop elbow, elbow, hand, hand, my knees off the mat. Then switch sides. Stand by. This garage floor is not meant to be on for a very long time. Then we switch sides. Elbow, elbow, hand, hand. Knees are fine. Toes are fine. You decide what you do. All right, friends, we go in 15 seconds. Turn myself here. I will help by calling it out for the first couple. We're going to go down, right, upright, down, left, up, left. All right, friends. And go. We have right elbow, right hand, left hand. Left elbow, left hand, right hand. Right and up. Left and up. Good. If you need to pause, pause at the top. If you need to pause, pause at the top. You can also bring the knees in, just like we did before. Right, right, left, and left. Takes a lot of the weight off. You got 20 seconds. Let's go through it. You can do it. Stay strong. Keep climbing. Keep going. Almost there. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You might not have a number for that one, and that's okay. You might not have really figured out how you want to count it. It was just choreography. Next time you go through this, count right, 1, left, 2, or however you want to count it. As long as you're consistent, it doesn't matter. You'll see improvement. Final exercise, forearm plank rotation. You're going to get onto your forearms and make it a plank. We rotate to the right, center. We rotate to the left, center. You can do it on your knees. That's fine. Okay? You decide. Start on your toes if you can. I'm going to move forward just a little bit. Start on your toes. Ready? And begin. Can you count? Rotate to the right. That's 1 rotation. When you rotate to the left, that's 2 rotations. 3 and 4. Beautiful. If you need to, the knees go down, hopefully on a mat. And you can rotate. Top leg is extended, bottom leg is bent. This way. So when you go over to the left, that right knee is down and in center. Good. We're squeezing and center. You've got 20 seconds. Can you do it? Rotate. And rotate. Last 10 seconds. Stay strong. Stay rotating. I'm going to keep you honest to it. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Relax. Sit back. Roll the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. We are going to lower ourselves down into a Sphinx pose. So going all the way down to the ground. Placing those elbows down just like they've been. Pulling our heart through. Lifting our chest. And breathing. Focusing here on the belly. I know you're like, we just did arms. Trust me. Inhale. Press the belly into the mat. Exhale. Pull the belly away from the mat. Inhale and exhale. This is going to help engage that back body. As you exhale and pull the belly away, pull yourself forward. Maybe push a little bit if you want to. And lower. Just kind of moving into the chest, opening the chest and the arms. Perfect. We're going to also push back to kneeling. Take our arms up like we're in prayer hands here and tap them behind our body. Opening up. Face you a little bit here. Opening up the chest, gazing up slightly if we'd like. Breathing. Nice dynamic, static stretch for the triceps. Reach and release. Wow, we made it through workout number 8. I will see you back here in workout number 9.